on doing what you keep on doing what you end up in jail.
All right, welcome back to the C&O Show. Chris and I are very big MMA fans, so it only makes sense that we talk a little UFC with our next guest. He'll be taking on CB Dollaway Thursday, March 3rd at UFC Live. The Filipino wrecking machine, Mark Munoz, joins the show. Mark, what's up, man?
Good, man. Good. Thank you for having me on the show, man.
Absolutely. How are you?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Just
You coming from training or anything?
Yeah, I just got done training and just chilling with Uriah here in LA, and
Nice.
just had a couple meetings. Just hanging out. I'm ready to just like leave and fight already. You know?
Right. Now you have a little over a week until the fight. When is training camp over for you?
Training ends on Thursday for me.
Okay.
So week before my fight, I actually leave for Louisville that day. I need to do some promotional stuff for the UFC. So that's when we'll end for me, and then it's all about cutting weight from there.
What do you do in that week? You just don't eat food ever?
Just ice cubes and lettuce.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
Oh.
True, man. I see whenever I'm cutting weight, dude, and I'm on TV, it seems like every commercial is a food commercial.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Dude, I feel like shooting the TV sometimes.
Just know that I'm here in Virginia acting on those food commercials, going out and getting everything I see.
I know, man.
And you're out there doing God's work.
Yeah, dude, I want to eat the world right now.
What type of things have you been working on and fine-tuning to get yourself ready for this fight?
So I've been brushing up on my Muay Thai, my Muay Thai and my Jiu-Jitsu, really, man, because CB likes to lead with a lot of kicks. You know, he's got those chokes from on top as well. So I'm just for me, I'm all about being a well-rounded fighter and mixing up and feeling comfortable wherever the fight takes me, man. But I've been specifically working on my Muay Thai with Masaf El Cordero over at King's MMA in Huntington Beach, and then just working on my Jiu-Jitsu with Marcel Lozado and with Doom and Jason Mayhem Miller.
Nice. Now, CB Dollaway, he's always been a bit of a controversial figure in MMA. He's a guy that loves to talk. You know, when you're going against somebody like that, does all the smack talk add fuel to your fire, or do you just ignore everything that's said?
I ignore everything that's said. You know, I actually know CB well. You know, I fought his coach, Aaron Simpson, and I know him well. And Aaron's a good friend of mine, and I know CB through Aaron. So he's a good dude. It's just he kind of he likes to get in people's heads, and he's actually being very humble right now, and he's a friend of mine, so it sucks, that we're actually fighting each other, but
yeah,
we're going to go in there and we're going to definitely mix it up. You're definitely going to see fireworks in this fight for sure.
Huh.
Now, Mark, I know you said that you like to, just sort of ignore everything that's said, and then you and CB, you guys are friends and everything, you'll probably sort of deflect this question, but I know that, one of the quotes that he said in regards to your Simpson fight was, I wouldn't say that, that was Aaron's best camp. Basically making a lot of excuses for him. Yeah, basically making a lot of excuses for him. What would you say to that?
Well, man, shoot, I opened up my gym the time where I fought Kendall Grove.
Mm-hmm.
And, he was basically talking about, like, they didn't have a place to train and yada, yada, yada.
Right.
Well, shoot, you have places to train. I mean, you just have to find it, what I'm saying? And that's what I did, and I got a schedule going, and they did the same thing, man. So, and I actually, when I moved into my own facility and was working, putting in the mats, putting up the cage and all of that, in between doing my training sessions and training and all that and taking care of my family, I actually had the best fight of my career with Kendall Grove in Abu Dhabi. So, so I mean, it's all relative, man. And I'm not a guy that makes excuses for what happens, but I kind of just take it as it comes, and whatever happens, and I'm just that guy. I don't like to make excuses.
Now you were a big wrestler when you were younger. I think you were a 2-time state champion in high school.
Yep.
MMA wasn't really as big as it is now, though, when you were earning your stripes while in school. Did you know that you wanted to be an MMA fighter during your wrestling years?
No, man. Actually, it's funny that I'm hanging out with Uriah right now because he's the one that actually got me into the sport, man.
Really?
Yeah, back in 2003, I accepted a job at UC Davis and met Uriah Faber there. After coaching at Oklahoma State for 3 years after, graduating and competing there for 5. So I won my NC2A national championship there, and then coached, like I said, coached for 3 years afterwards, and then accepted a job at UC Davis. And then 2003, I met Uriah Faber.
What was his pitch? What did he say to you to get you to sign up?
Well, it was a 3-year pitch.
He's like, trust me, man, it doesn't hurt that bad. It's not bad.
Yeah. Well, just when I accepted that job, dude, I was married, had 3 kids at the time.
Wow.
And then my wife was pregnant with our 4th. And then I was teaching, I was coaching, and I was getting my master's at the same time. So I told him, I was like, bro, dude, fighting right now isn't in the cards for me right now. So he just kind of stayed on me, and he had this camp. I think it was when Randy Couture was fighting Vitor Belfort.
Right.
This is way back in the day. And Randy came out for like 2 weeks out to Sacramento, and he's like, dude, you need to come out. I'm like, why? He goes, man, I'm going to be there. Rampage, Tito, like a bunch of guys are going to be there, man. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm fresh. I'm fresh from trying to compete for the Olympics and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, cool. Let's do it. So I did it. My first sparring session was with Randy Couture.
Wow, and the rest is history, huh?
So all it took was an invite to come hang out with Jesus and all of his friends.
That's right.
Now you wrestled at Oklahoma State, right?
Yeah.
Didn't your boy Randy wrestle there as well?
Yeah, he wrestled there too.
So when you met him, were you like, "Hey, Randy, go Cowboys, help me achieve greatness"?
Right. That's right. He told me, he was like, "Hey, what's up, man?" Oh, dude, all those guys. He knew all the coaching staff. It was cool. We chopped it up for a little bit and talked about kind of like resting days. And
now you wrestled with King Mo at OSU as well, right?
Yeah, I was actually his coach. I recruited him to come to.
Was he King Mo back then, or was he just plain old Muhammad?
Yeah.
Nah, he was Muhammad Lawal. He was Muhammad.
So when you see him come out with all the
crown,
what do you think?
The umbrellas. I'm like, man, dude. But he was a little flamboyant, man, a little bit. That's his personality, and
right.
He's got showmanship. He's that guy, and dude, he will always be a brother to me, man. Like he's one of the most genuine guys I know, but he's misunderstood. Dude, he actually babysat my kids one time.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The dude's a really good guy, man. I love that guy.
That's awesome.
He's definitely a brother from another mother, for sure.
Now, Mark, when it comes to the showmanship, as you mentioned, now a lot of guys are really flamboyant in the sport of MMA, and a lot of guys with sponsorships, with big major sponsorships and endorsements. Do you feel like some guys sort of over pronounce that stuff just to sort of make their sponsorships more valuable, and that's not really the way that they are?
Yeah, I do. I see that, but at the same, I can't act like that.
Right.
I can't that on like
it's not
a 24-hour. It's not me, man. I can't do that. I can't act.
I hear that you've been training with your buddy Nonito Donaire, the Filipino boxing sensation. I'm pretty sure he broke Fernando Montiel's jaw this weekend. Am I right?
Yeah, no, he did, man. That left hook came from nowhere.
What's that experience been like for you?
Man, it's been cool, man. Like Nonito, he's been showing me a lot of stuff as far as picking your opponent apart. Seeing their tendencies and seeing their movements and and just the little intricacies to where, you know, to know what punch to throw.
Right.
Nonito, man, you know, a lot of people say he's the next Manny Pacquiao, but I say he's the next Nonito Donaire. Like he's good, bro. Like he's legit.
What I wanted to ask you, I mean, I know this is a tough question because you are Filipino.
Yeah.
Donaire versus Pacquiao. Who do you take in that?
Oh man, dude. I can't answer that question, bro.
Answer it?
I can't answer that question, bro. I plead the fifth.
I hear you.
There's your quote.
Hey, man, you gotta give me my rights, bro.
Mark, well, another question about your Filipino descent. The Ultimate Fighter is actually going to the Philippines.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, man? And why do you think they chose the Philippines?
I love that, man. I love that the UFC wants to go there. And just to see the popularity of Manny Pacquiao and Nonito Donaire and all the fighters that are out there, they show support. And you know, when one Filipino fights, the whole nation watches.
Right.
You know, so that's the positive thing about what the UFC wants to do with the Philippines, because they have a whole country that's supporting mixed martial arts. So, and they definitely want to get into that market, because Manny Pacquiao, that dude sells out. He sells out freaking Dallas Stadium, man.
Right, right.
Like, you know, who does that?
Yeah.
It's huge. You know, so they definitely want to take advantage of that.
Well,
man.
he's pretty much.
I love the fact. Go ahead.
No, he's pretty much like the president out there in the Philippines, right?
Yeah, he's working his way up, man. He's a congressman. Now he's working his way up to president. He's going to be president soon. Watch.
Wow.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mark, have you ever tried, this is the only thing I know about your country. I'm sorry. I'm very ignorant. Have you ever tried balut?
Yeah, dude. My parents.
Oh.
My parents ate balut when I was in their belly.
Oh my God.
That's why they say I'm so strong and fast.
Are you serious?
Is that a fetus into a fetus? Is that what that is?
That's right, dude.
Oh,
Wow,
God.
man.
It's a duck embryo.
Oh
She's
my
feeding
God.
it to her little embryo.
Do you still eat it?
Nah, I don't eat it, bro.
No way.
Does that make you 1/3 duck?
Yeah, dude.
Mark, I got like 2 more questions. I know you got to go.
That's all good.
You won your first 5 professional fights, 4 of them in the first round, and then you moved up to the UFC where you faced Matt Hamill in your first fight, and that fight didn't really go your way at all because he hit you with that vicious head kick that really messed you up.
Yep.
Was there anything that you took away and learned from that fight, or do you think you just had an off night and you got caught?
Nah, man, I take away from all the fights especially my losses. And from that fight, I kind of, I didn't know he was going to kick, man. I never saw any kicks come out from his fights, and so I was moving my head, like switching southpaw. I mean, I was just trying to find my style,
Right.
And he caught me, dude. He caught me with a freaking good head kick. So from there, I was like, you know what? I'm not a pure wrestler. I can't just be a pure wrestler anymore. I got to go out and I got to be well-rounded. And that was my first fight in the UFC, and actually that was my 15th month fighting professionally.
Really?
So yeah. So and I had no amateur career. I went straight into pro MMA. So
wow.
So yeah. So that that just tells you like where I came from. Like I was thrown already just into thrown to the wolves. It's like, hey,
Right.
So, but I welcome that, man, and I took a lot from that fight, man, and I know that I can compete with the best guys, and then I fought Okami. I lost that fight, and I definitely had my chance to win because I rocked them, and and being inexperienced, with rocking somebody, I just went straight into them,
Yeah.
Instead of just picking my shots. So, I learned from every fight, and especially the ones that I lose. So I'm definitely looking forward to the future of the UFC, man, for sure.
All right, well, last question before we let you go. Mark, I've always wanted to ask a UFC fighter this, but I never had the guts to, but you seem pretty cool, so I'm going to ask you. All
right.
What is it like to just walk into a bar and know that you can destroy everyone there if you wanted to? What's that feeling like?
It's definitely a good feeling. Like, honestly, when someone's like popping off to like anybody of my friends, I'm like, bro, you don't want to do that, right? I'm like, he's with me. You know? But honestly, bro, I don't much. But if it does happen, people know where they stand. You know,
right? You pull up your Wikipedia page and you just show us them on your phone real quick.
That's right.
All right, we'll follow him on Twitter at Mark_Munoz. Do you run that Twitter, by the way?
Yes, I do run that Twitter.
Okay. All right, well, check him out. Thursday, March 3rd, he'll be taking on CB Dollaway. You can catch those fights live on Versus. Mark, you got anything else you want to plug?
Yeah, man. I'd like to thank my managers, Jeff Meyer and Mike Roberts, for just being there from the beginning. I'd like to thank Form Athletics for just bringing me onto the family, and K-Swiss. Also, I'd like to thank Rain Training Center, my facility, all my training partners there. You can follow us at traintorain.com. If you're in the Southern Orange County area, come check us out. And also King's MMA in Huntington Beach, too, as well. So I'd like to thank my sister for doing my PR and stuff. So, yeah, man, that's it, man. I appreciate you guys having me on the show.
Nice. Well, thanks for the time, man. Hopefully we can get you on after you win next week.
For sure.
All right, buddy.
Sure.
Mark, say hi to Uriah and Joe B and all those guys for us, okay?
I will.
All right, man. Take it easy. Best of luck.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.